Hello and welcome back. This is Jacob and today we are going to be continuing the narration and character voice acting for the main story of Arknights. This is part 3 for episode 16, Abnormal Spectrum. Alright then everybody, let's continue this journey through chapter 16 and see where we're going to be ending up today. But before we do so, as always, to anybody who bumps into the voiceover through this very episode, you can find the full playlist for the main story in the description box of this very video, together with a quite a literal flashback of other stories and storylines that are both loosely and more being integrated into the main story themselves. So if you have anything from there you need to catch up with, enjoy and thank you very much. And also very quickly, apologies, this episode should have been out way earlier in the week, but because I completely forgot that last weekend was Easter, which is a pretty big holiday here, I completely forgot about that, so some stuff got pretty heftily delayed into this week, so that's why this is on on such a delayed schedule right now. But also on that topic, I do know that a new side story is coming the next week after this one, and I will be ready for that one, and I will be covering it when it comes out. And hopefully by then I will also have all the parts recorded I need for the rest of this main story chapter. I'm not gonna be recording the rest of the stages and everything into a single episode. That would be way too long. But there's probably gonna be two more episodes to the main story, is all I'm gonna say. But more on that topic when we get to the end of today's episode. For now, we're gonna do the recap as usual, and for anybody who wants to skip the recap, you can do so with the timestamps provided down in the description box of the video, chapter select, or just navigate the YouTube navigation bar, and you can be right there at the beginning of today's part. But anyway, last time we started with Xenia telling the Doctor and Monster about the supposed killing of a royal guard, and that she saw Raidian and her group leave with the miners who committed the kill. Xenia then falls unconscious, we regroup with everyone, and the decision is made to split into two groups. Doc and Monster will stay behind with Xenia, while the rest goes after the miners and Raidian. In a small flashback scene, then we see how the miners use their removed chips to trick and ambush several patrol units and kill them. Back with Doc and Monster, Xenia wakes up and they start asking her about the sarcophagus and Raidian. Sadly, Xenia has no idea about where the sarcophagus is, but she does confirm that Raidian went with the miners a few days ago. Amiya and her team meanwhile find the kill patrol units from a few days ago, and Mantra also finds a beacon of sorts left behind by Raidian, telling them where the group is going. Speaking of a few days ago, in another flashback scene we see the miners interrogate a single patrol unit guy who is just a driver. However, the goods he is transporting enrage the miners to no end. The driver also turns out to be the son of one of the older miners, Holly, and after showing Holly what his son was transporting, Rankin leaves him with the decision of what to do with him. Soon after that, in rage and disbelief, Holly kills his own son. The miners then celebrate a brief respite and victory with song, dance and campfire, while Holly is left in a catatonic state. Going back to Xenia, we hear about the sequence of events of discovering Oka and speeding along the research on it to the stage of human experiments. To find out more about Oka, the Doctor and Monster make the decision to go to the mines to see for themselves what this substance is. Meanwhile, the miners and Raidian stop at a village to trade for supplies since their vehicles have run out of power. The villagers are actually friendly to them, believe their story, offer them food and even a place to stay for the night. That night, Rankin has a nightmare about the royal guard he killed a while back, and it wakes him up in a cold sweat. The sweat evaporates the moment he steps out of his tent, as the village is engulfed in raging fire. Holly was the one who set the fires, as he believed it was his duty to kill them. Rankin runs then into Vetochki, who is looking for the old Granny Nadia, and they find her in a burning house surrounded by flames, just sitting in a chair, not a speck of dust on her. And yeah, that is pretty much where we left off last time. So today we're gonna be obviously continuing from stage number 10 where we are right now, and we're gonna be ending up on stage number 14. Every single one of these stages has a single cutscene, and we are also going to be having a boss, sort of boss battle, very interesting boss battle on stage 12, and there's also a certain extra thing, as you guys can see here on stage 13, but I will spend a bit more talking about that when we get to stage 13. For now, let's begin on stage 10, titled Silenced Cries, and it says, "The saddest thing is that sorrow teaches us nothing." Snow, snow, snow. Snow is falling on his head. It turns into boiling water, into endless cries, into the weight of the dead. Hands are not enough to sweep it away. It is wet, heavy, sinking, until it crushes those who are inside, those who are still living.
Babushka, how are you feeling? Tick tock, tick tock. The clock ticks tocks. The clock doesn't wait for anyone. But we shouldn't sing? Let's go.
No more survivors here. I don't think I have the strength to stand. Are you there, Lydia? I could use a hand. Lydia?
Over there. Someone's coming. Rankin.
The fire's gone out.
Yes, it went out a while ago. Some survivors found us. We must do something. Are you going to make Holly kneel here forever? Even if he went mad and did all of this, is it really necessary to punish him this way? The fire's gone out, and it's getting cold. He'll die.
Yes, he'll die. But not yet. Rankin looks toward the entrance to the village. The fence that used to be there was designed to stop foraging tusk beasts, not anyone determined enough to enter, whether their intentions were benevolent or malicious. Scattered figures begin to emerge from behind the remains of the fence. They look this way hesitantly, then walk away timidly. Rankin sounds almost like he's muttering to himself. I was wrong, Nikto.
What do you mean?
I was wrong.
In what way?
Oh, he wasn't mad. He wasn't shouting for Vitochki's babushka, or to his dead son. He was shouting at me. I have committed murder, not for food, nor for water, nor for abode, but for those who walk with me, for the salvation of their souls.
I didn't hear anything. Even if he did say it, it's just the kind of prayer that Vitochki and her babushka pray all the time. It's not like they started worshipping the Rodstvo and the Tsar yesterday.
The Rodstvo? Tsar? No, not distant or ethereal things like that. He was trying to save my soul, even after I made him kill his own son. But what is a soul even? Who can prove that it exists? Is it more precious than mortal life? It's ridiculous. Silly. I shouldn't have forced him. But now the worst has happened. If he did what he did before in order to fulfill my wishes, then it was for me for the same reason that he set this fire.
No, it's nonsense. Listen to me.
It might as well have been me who set this fire. I must pay for my crimes.
Don't be a fool, Rankin!
I'll keep this brief. What? What else do you have to say? We gave you food and water. Is this how you repay us? No. Are you here to chase us away, or to finish what you started? I want you to witness the perpetrator face justice. Perpetrator! Justice! Will you kill all the arsonists, killers, and robbers in front of me? No, you won't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be coming to talk to me while armed. I'll pretend I didn't hear anything. Leave, unless you're trying to wipe us out. Never come back again. Rankin puts down his pickaxe and all other weapons, then raises both hands in the air.
Rankin!
Stay back, Nikto. You still have your arts. Right here. The culprit is right here. You can do what you wish with him. What? I've put down my weapon. I won't use my arts. You can do what you wish. I see. You would shield the others with your own life. I've never been good with numbers. But I can tell that's not a fair deal. I'm right here. I won't fight back. I don't want you. We don't want you. You weren't here when the fire started. I want the one who set the fire. The one who robbed my home and burned it down. I want the one who killed my wife. Even if I was the reason for his violence, it was my arrogance that put the others in a desperate situation. It was I who forced him down the path of violence. You should kill me. No! Listen to me. We want him. We don't want anyone else. A small space has been cleared in the rubble to serve as an impromptu execution ground. A crowd has gathered to watch. It is as though they cannot help themselves, like huddling around a fire in the winter night, yet fearful that its warmth might burn. I still don't understand. Why did Holly set the fire? Why would he do this to a village that helped us?
He's mad. He was never the same again after his son died.
But, maybe he didn't set the fire. Rankin wanted to satisfy the villagers, and Holly happened to be sick. The Holly I knew would never do something like that.
I don't know, but I trust Rankin. Then he even tried to trade his life for Holly's. Thankfully, the villagers wanted the real culprit, not a good person tried to take his place.
It hasn't started yet, but I can't watch. I'll be over there. I need some rest.
Stop. Rankin's talking.
Pretty much everyone's here. I have a few words to say before I execute this man. I'm not trying to defend him, or seek forgiveness for the victims. Yes, he deserves to die. He betrayed kindness and trust. He placed all of us in danger. He harmed the innocent in direct violation of our original intent, which was simply to survive. Death may be inevitable on the path we chose, but it should never have happened this way. Watch. Remember the lesson. And remember that the one about to take the life of this man is the one least qualified to do so. I am executing him on the wishes of the victims and on my own decision. This will be the last decision I make as leader. No one should bear the burden of killing his own comrade. Therefore, repent. Sin. The snow has piled up on Holly's shoulder. He kneels on the ground, as though he did not hear any of what Rankin said. He puts his hands together in front of his chest in a gesture of piety. He looks up and exposes his neck to the executioner. Yes, I must repent my sins. I shall do the deed. Do Vestrechi, Holly.
Damn, I thought I could at least put this mirror together. Now it's gotten even more broken. Talk about unlucky.
Can't we at least take Holly's body, Rankin? No.
What use do they have for a dead body? Do they want to leave it out in the wilds?
We're not in any position to negotiate. Besides, all of you may come to the same end if you continue to follow me.
Oh, what do you mean? Who do we follow if not you? Now's not the time for jokes.
It's not a joke. It's a decision. A decision that I already talked about. Rankin turns around. The tired, unkempt crowd immediately gather around him, simply because he is here. They look towards their leader, blankly waiting for the next instruction.
Do we keep going south, Rankin? I don't have any strength left. I just wanted a roof over my head that would keep the snow away, but we don't even have that anymore, do we? We'll die if we keep going. We'll die if we stay.
I couldn't find them, Rankin. Pavel and Bogina, I never found them. Not even their bodies. I'm sorry. The villagers didn't want me anywhere near them. Not even when I put down my pickaxe. They're afraid. You could see it on their faces a mile away. I didn't want to threaten them. Let's go, Rankin. Take us away. Rankin scans each face in the crowd, whether they spoke or not. I'm sorry, friends.
Rankin?
I can't decide your path going forward. As I said, it was not Holly who should have been punished. It was me. I was the one who drove him to madness and violence. It was my decisions that drove him to desperation. Before this happened, I didn't even realize that not everyone was ready to look death in the eye. There's no longer any doubt. I don't have what it takes to be a leader. My last and best act as leader is to relinquish this position and give you back the power of choice. Silence. Long silence. No one answers. Hardly anyone even breathes. Not so much a twitch on their faces. All who hear the decision are silent, until a trembling voice emerges from the end of the procession.
You're abandoning us?
No, Vetochki.
Then what? What you said? How do we understand it?
The crowd parts for the one who asked the question. Vetochki does not move forward. She stands where she is, her fists clenched so hard that her knuckles have turned white.
You say you won't lead anymore after we've come so far? You're abandoning all of us.
I'm not. I must do this before things get worse for everyone. No more lives must be lost because of my foolish decisions. We didn't escape from the mines, that hellhole, for this.
A hellhole? But it's my home.
What do you mean?
The mining district is my home. It was many people's homes.
Home? I thought you all wanted out, like me.
It's because of trust. We trust you, Rankin. You didn't know?
I thought you chose to leave because you wanted for a long time.
You killed the black bugs. You stood up and said we should leave, so we left. You caught Holly, killed him, and said it was wrong to leave. You said it is a choice. I don't understand. What are we to you?
Friends, family. It's complicated and hard to define, but it's exactly because you are important to me that...
This is the home of the villagers. Maybe they can rebuild the village. What about us? Where do we go? You took us so far. If you don't lead anymore, how do we go back? Rankin, tell me, how do we live?
Vetochki.
No! The way you call me, you're treating me like a child. I'm not! You're not talking back.
You just proved what I had only guessed.
What?
All I've done up to this point was to force my ideas on you. You didn't understand my plan. You didn't understand the meaning behind my actions. You trusted me, not your own choices. What will you do when I'm not around to lead you? I appreciate your trust, but this isn't right. I'm going to tell you what's happening, and then you can make your choice. Rankin once again scans each face before him, making sure that he has everyone's undivided attention. Our ultimate goal is to reach the Kazimierzian border and find the village of the infected. In the process, though, this journey must become a reason for Ursus to recognize us. But it will put us in grave danger, because it challenges the very foundation of the Empire. People before us have tried and failed, leaving behind nothing but a symbol and a name on the snowy, swampy tundra. What if I told you that following me might mean following in their footsteps? It's not something I would recommend for anyone who wants to live. Anyone with a brain. But I never even gave Holly a choice. That's why he's dead. He showed me that. I must return the choice to you. The crowd does not answer, but there is some faint commotion. Slowly the crowd begins to split. Some stand next to Rankin or behind him, others in front of him. When do we leave, Rankin? Once everyone has made their choice. More and more people move towards Rankin, their footsteps like the delayed ringing of the bell, announcing the end of a shift. 1, 2, 3. One miscount may mean one more soul lost to the mines.
Who doesn't want to live? Why do we have to choose?
But Tochki can feel them growing more and more distant. She subconsciously takes a step forward, trying to hold on to something, but someone grabs her and stops her in her tracks.
Petochki? Serafina? You're going too? Where were you? I don't know how to... they're all leaving us to go die. It's alright. I was just bandaging up Nikto. He cut himself on some broken mirror shards. It's not important. I heard the last part of your exchange. You want to live. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to make yourself walk a path that you don't agree with. And I'm not going with them. You won't? You're not leaving? Yes, me and my team will continue to assist the wounded. Nikto is not leaving either, is he? Nikto?
The split crowd continues to move. Raidian could not see Nikto, so she begins scanning for a specific electrical signal with her arts. It does not take her long.
He's in the rear. He won't leave.
I am sorry, Госпожа Serafina.
Nikto!
I am sorry, Vetochki. I can't go back. You know that I came from Griffenberg. The mines were never my home. Besides, it's not a sure thing that we'll die. Maybe things won't get so bad with me keeping an eye on the man. We must make opportunity with our own hands, after all. Right?
No. Why must it be like this? Why must we always part? Go home, Vetochki. Don't catch a cold. Go to bed, and Mom and Dad will be back when you wake up again. Be a good girl who doesn't cry or complain. Make your babushka happy, and you'll find a piece of chocolate on your pillow when you wake up.
Strike! Right. No response. Execution.
Mama, Papa, Ditya, babushka?
One word. Just one word. One word and my soul will be healed. I beg forgiveness for the sin of killing your child. I shall meditate and share in your pain. For you, for him, may we all repent our sins from the bottom of our hearts. Thy blessings walk on earth as it is in heaven.
Babushka?
Baby, baby.
Close your eyes. Someone's outside the window, knocking on the door. Maybe, baby, hold your breath. Someone's putting on a skin, walking in. Here it comes, here it comes. Babushka. Babushka. Is someone outside? No one stops. No one waits. They're gone. They cry, kiss your hand, say they didn't want to be apart, but they're gone. Everyone has their own path. Must this be? But why? You know the reason. Suffering soul. Rankin never taught me how to read that watch. Second-hand clock? I can hear the bell. As always. Babushka, why is your hand so cold? The fire is hot. I'm cold and it hurts. But it's not because of fire. I don't understand. It's alright. Most people live their entire lives in obliviousness. Until they die? Yes. Until they die. Babushka, what are you singing about? Love. But I hurt. Because you love. Love makes people hurt. Makes them persevere. Makes them docile. Love makes people strong. Makes them wealthy. Makes them noble. You love, and therefore you hurt. I love you, and therefore I share in your pain. Batoshki says no more. She closes her eyes and curls up tightly, but no longer dares touch the hand that caresses her cheek as usual. She had heard these words before, back when she did not need to find support for them amongst the broken pieces. Now, though, she is no longer sure. How can one be more wealthy and noble than kings and nobles if one lives in obliviousness? How can one be stronger than the stick of authority if one is powerless? The campfire is very near. It should have brought warmth, but Batoshki feels cold in her limbs, her innards, every part of her body. Passing through the cold, withered hand. I shall meditate and share in your pain. May we all repent our sins
from the bottom of our hearts. The voice is simply a repetition, an echo. The echo points towards doom. The consequences of my actions, right? That is pretty much the summary of this cutscene. So yeah, Rankin is obviously not stupid and not delusional, at least not in that sense. He is recognizing that whatever happened in the village is absolutely both to his doing and both his responsibility, as in if he would have not made Holly kill his own son, it would have not resulted in Holly going absolutely mental and setting the village on fire. He's not stupid, he recognized that, and that's why he was offering himself up to be the sacrificial lamb, essentially. But obviously the villagers don't care about that, they want the guy who did it. And, well, they got the guy who did it, and now it's again on Rankin's shoulders. And this whole fiasco has resulted in the group splitting apart and going their separate ways now. One group going with Rankin further towards the border, and the other portion staying behind with Raidian, Vitochki, and the old granny. And speaking of the old granny, like I said in the previous episode, that old woman is very sus. That old woman is very sus. Probably why she has a unique old woman model to her compared to the usual Ursus granny that we get for these locales, right? But yeah, that's this cutscene in a nutshell. To be also fair, honestly, if not for the whole sequence of events, how it went down previously, with running into the driver, Rankin seeing the corpses, and then also Holly appearing and recognizing, oh yeah, that's my son, Rankin would have probably just killed the guy on the spot. Let's be real here. Rankin was probably right on the edge of killing the guy, and then Holly appeared, and I get what he was doing back there. I do understand it, why he went the way of let the father decide how his son is gonna be. After all, it's a family thing, right? Why would he go behind the father's back and kill his own son? Probably, I don't know specifically, but I could see it as probably Rankin thinking he's doing like a noble thing here, leaving it to the dad, but at the same time, he definitely realized that this is gonna have some repercussions in the future cause of Holly and everything. I mean, after all, a father killing his own son is, yeah, that's not something you recover. that's not something you're gonna recover easily at any given point. I mean, if you... This is a bit of a dark topic, but if you have a family member who had to bury their own child or something like that, then I think you understand the grief people go through that. But yeah, anyway, that is... sorry. Sorry for the dark topic. But this chapter is dark. After all, really, really dark. But anyway, before we move on to the next stage, on this one we do have one new enemy, which is the abnormal mangler beast. And it says, mutated beast that dwells within the mines. It knew to avoid the strange rocks, but could not avoid drinking the black water. It lay on the gravel for several days before standing up again. Yeah, that deep tank water is not to be trusted. Anyway, we move on to the next stage, 1611. This stage has an after cutscene, there are no new enemies here to introduce, so we continue. It's titled Tombstone, and says, those who have lost their souls greet you here.
The tracks end here. Up ahead is... Huh. I don't think we need to go any further. What? What happened here?
Far north, Ursus.
This village is the closest to where the miners abandoned their vehicles. I thought we might be able to ask around. Hard to tell if anyone's still alive. The burn marks on the fence look recent. We're one step too late. Again. Amiya keeps walking until the quiet ruins are plain in view. The fire has long gone out. The bare branches in the surrounding woods cannot even hide the twin wounds. The ruins are a sickly black in the pale moonlight, a far cry from what she imagined the village would look like. Amiya feels a brief daze, then worry, as memories of a familiar scene flash back into her mind. Mantra V. I'll take a team and search for survivors. I'll go too. We'll be fine, and we'll be back soon. No, let's go together and split up over there. I think I see someone. Hello, we're a rescue team. We're here to help. Do you live in this village? What happened here? Governor! Again! I did say we were a rescue team, didn't I? Was my Ursus weird? No, he's just afraid. I can sense it. He must live around this place, though, if he showed up here. Should we follow him? Let's not. We don't want to frighten them. Who's there? Oh! Careful! I'm sorry. I wasn't following you on purpose. Your clothes, they're like hers, so our clothes? Do you mean the symbol? What's the name of this woman you're talking about? Seraphina. Radian's real name. Is this Seraphina a shortly berry with 4 arms? You know her? Yes, she's our friend, and we've been looking for her. What's your name? Can you take us to Seraphina? I'm Vitochki. Follow me. A fire broke out. The others are outside the village. Seraphina was helping us. Without her, we couldn't have gotten here. You're miners from the Central Mining District? Yes, you're here and you say you'll help. Thank goodness. Now we can live. Here we are. Just ahead.
Who's there?
Dядя Volya, you still have a fever. Don't sit at the door.
I'm fine. No fever. The wound on my leg doesn't hurt anymore when I tied up with clothes. And, who are these people?
They know Seraphina. We come from the same pharmaceutical company. We've come to help. Amiya? Amiya, it's really you. How did you find this place? It's really you. We finally found you.
She runs up to her colleague and gives her a big hug. Perhaps she should not be showing her emotions in front of others like this, but she can decline the opportunity to let her guard down. Nothing beats the joy of reunion, and the comfort in seeing someone whom we have been worried about for a while.
I wasn't sure when the girl said your name, but now... I'm so glad. Is everything alright, Raidian? I'm fine. Sorry for making you worried. Team Raidian, all 9 members accounted for. Thank goodness. How did you find this place? Did someone find the markings I left behind?
A wise course of action.
Mantra! I knew you'd be with them. The doctor, monster, and I came when we lost contact with you. The doctor is with a researcher that we found, waiting for her to wake up. We'll meet up once communications are restored. The doctor is here in Ursus too. I think we all have a lot of questions to ask each other. Rankin left with part of the group after the fire was put out. The ones here were unwilling or unable to follow, or villagers who lived here to begin with. I regret not being able to stop the events. So that's what happened. Is this Rankin linked to a reunion? No, as far as I can tell, he never made direct contact with reunion. He simply believed there was a reunion position on the Ursus-Casimir's border. I've heard fugitive infected in the far north talking about it. Does Rhodes Island have any intel? You mean these people have nothing to do with the reunion? They're just flying a banner that they happen to come across? Who might you be? Aloysius Gorchakova, Sergeant of the Imperial Guard Vanguard Battalion. You can call me Aloysius. What is the Imperial Guard doing here? Aloysius came to investigate rumors of mutated infected in the central mining district. She helped us get into the district. It's a pleasure to meet you, Gospodja Raidian. I am happy for your reunion, but time is short, and I'll cut straight to the chase. Were there any mutated infected in this group of fugitive miners? Mutated? I'm sure you understand what I mean as an operator of Rhodes Island. No, at least not the ones who stayed. We did not find any so-called mutated infected when we examined them. That's strange. There's certainly something abnormal about these people. If there's nothing out of the normal with the ones who stayed, then we must hurry to catch up with the ones who left. Did they tell you how they plan to proceed to the border, or any other clues they left behind? I don't think I'm obliged to report anything to you. I assure you that my sole purpose here is to discover the truth about the mutated infected and bring about order. Deity Gryffindor seeks to protect the interests of the infected. I'm afraid I'm not convinced. At the Tashkent mines, at Korna prison, I never saw a single noble who stood up for the interests of the infected. Ah, so you're Ursin too? Third Army, I take it? That was a long time ago. Very well. I accept that you have legitimate reasons for your dim opinion of this nation. Regardless, I am loyal to the motherland, and what you're trying to avoid lines up with what I'm trying to avoid, to an extent. The miners who left are headed towards the south. They will inevitably pass through Gryffindor on their way to the Casimirsian border. Whether they realize it or not, whatever their actual intentions are, they'll be treated as insurgents attempting to attack the capital once they are discovered. Only one end awaits them in that event. I thought you were going to ask a question, not make a threat. I'm just stating the truth. I would not have to be so solemn if Gospodja Raidian here would be frank and honest with me. I need to know how these miners left and why they fled. Hiding the truth won't do you or them any good. I see only a group of infected who are only trying to survive. No one is in any position to denounce them. You just won't listen, would you? Gospodja Amia, we've traveled together for a while now. Could you perhaps help me persuade our strong-minded Liberi here? There's something even more urgent before that, Aloysius. The miners and villagers here are in a dangerous situation. They have no supplies and nowhere to go. We can't just abandon them. We must ensure their safety before talking about the next step. You don't have to worry about the villagers. I was planning to seek assistance from the Grand Duchess for the rebuilding of their village anyway. Her Imperial Highness has always been generous on such matters. These miners, though, they're not a problem that a letter will solve. If you cannot offer assistance to them, then Rhodes Island will. Very well, I'll help you one more time, for the sake of our cooperation. We take the miners to Griffenberg. What? Yes, we go to deity Griffenberg and report to His Imperial Majesty the truth about the infected mutation in the central mining district, turning these miners into witnesses. This will give Griffenberg a reason to protect them, and intercept rather than eliminate the ones who left, until the investigation into the Grand Duchess has concluded, at least. And after that, I'll persuade the chairman to request that His Imperial Majesty grant amnesty to these infected, then ask Rhodes Island to intervene on the grounds of medical assistance. Or maybe you only need these miners for now, and you'll have no further use of them after you bring the Grand Duchess down. Otherwise, you have no reason to spare these infected. I know, Ursus. Whatever warmth the Tsar wants to bring to this cold soil, the infected will never be part of it. Take that back! I'm just stating the truth. How dare you! Maybe that's true for Ursus, but I've seen enough of Aloysius that I'm willing to trust her. Mia? Sorry, Aloysius. Raidian's simply expressing her concerns. I'm sure we all know how Ursus has historically approached the infected problem. Very well. Thank you for your trust, even if it's only towards me.
The guardswoman bows at them exaggerately and casts one less provoking look at Raidian.
I have one final question. Are you authorized to do this, Sergeant? Maybe you've been away from Griffenberg for too long to know the weight that the name Gorchakova carries there. On the name of my house. You don't need to worry about anything else, other than providing medical assistance. You're telling the truth. Of course I am. Even if the plan works, we must get the miners to agree first. Yes, I'll go. I'll explain the situation to them and ask what they think. There you are, Vitochki. There's something that we need to tell everyone. We have a choice. Leave here and go to deity Griffenberg together. Griffenberg! Mama said black locusts and cherry trees grow on the streets of Griffenberg. The sky is bright. The foul beasts build nests. They don't fly away. There's spring there. That Griffenberg? Yes, that Griffenberg. Do you want to go? Yes, I wanna...
She's so eager that she lets cold air get into her throat, causing pain from the dryness.
I know you do. But what about the others? I've never left the mines. We have to ask the others whether they're like you, if they're willing to trust us and go to Griffenberg. I'll ask. I know they will. Before you came back, Daria said we can't get away. Even if we wanted to go back, people outside would stop us. They'll burn us to death. I'll tell her it's not like that. You're right. It's not like that. Daria! Daria? Daria! We'll go to deity Griffenberg. Serafina has a way. We'll all go. Daria?
The girl is sitting straight with her back against the wall. Her eyes are closed, exhaustion upon her young face like shadows. She still breathes, but she's not doing any more than the minimum required to live.
No, we can't stay here. Come with me. Hang on. I'll carry you. Daria! Probably just tired. Let her rest. We'll find others.
Vitochka looks around, hoping that her friend's silence is just a coincidence.
Dядя Volia.
She walks over and shakes them one by one, only to find that their backs are all straight and stiff, just like Daria. Some are kneeling while others are standing, but they are all facing the old woman with bowed heads inside a house, as though they can hear nothing else. Vitochka looks up, and a word slips from her mouth.
Bushka?
Raidian follows Vitochka's fearful gaze. An ancient voice fills the space in the direction that they are all looking. Welcome. The one who Ursus remembers. The figure's face and eyes are concealed by a hood, but somehow Raidian has a feeling that the figure is not looking at her.
What did you say? Sorry for the interruption, but you're taking too long. Everyone, I have a proposal that can ensure your safety to the greatest extent possible. Sergeant, leave the far north with us and come to Deity Griffenberg. The State Council will protect you as long as you are willing to testify against the Grand Duchess. His Imperial Majesty must know what happened here. Ursus must know what happened here. Once everything is settled, Rhodes Island, where this lady you all know came from, will provide further treatment. Now, anyone willing to come with me? They're not listening. The electrical signals coming from them.
Meditate. Suddenly, a strange coldness penetrates Radiant's cerebral vortex, virtually nailing her to the ground. She's unwilling to offer any further warnings, even if she was just about to do so just a moment ago.
What?
Even the most chaotic electrical signal should have been benign to her, but now she turns it into a knife to keep herself lucid. Radiant shuts out her sensations with the Originium arts, attempting to break the shapeless restraint.
What are you... We must... go! Take... everyone... leave!
Mantra. Is this the name you go by now?
Mantra, I sense cold and... pain? A vortex inviting me to step inside.
Amiya, do not look. Do not listen. Shut out your senses with arts, Amiya. Same for you, Elysium. Stay here while I find out what's happening.
Mantra! Stay back. This is not normal. They can't hear us speak.
Whatever it is, it's calling to me. And I must face it. Mantra closes her eyes and begins to picture the closed space in her mind like a mental blueprint. She steps into the house. She will find and anchor each active consciousness here, awaken them, and make them hear. At least, that is what should have happened. No. There is only... silence? Red. Piercing red. Red like the blood on the snow, encroaching upon the retina. Then she opens her eyes. What makes us equal? Perseverance, faith, pain. No, no, no. It is love. What needs to be saved? The soul? The soul? The soul? Yes, yes, yes. The soul. It is not our body that needs to be saved, but our souls. Love and the soul are one and whole. Love makes us endure, makes us believe, makes us persevere. And we shall meditate and share in the pain of others. Make love pure. Save the soul. For you, for him, for all who endure pain. Desire not your own life. Decide not your own death. I endure. I believe. I persevere. Gosudar Batlushka. Gosudar Юродство. The old lady is sus. The old lady is not even an old lady, it seems. But yeah, the obvious twist here with the old lady that has been built up for through the last couple of scenes. Yeah, that is definitely interesting. We'll see a bit more later on, but yeah, that thing, whatever it is definitely very interesting and definitely has some eldritch callbacks to it. But yeah, the old lady turned out to be something very, very weird, and something that actually recognizes mantra, and something that also has potentially the same kind of or similar arts to mantra, and is obviously powerful enough to even interfere with someone like Raidian, and even through Radian's training, as she said, to resist arts like this. She was barely able to hold herself together during that scene, which does tell immediately how strong this entity supposedly is. But we'll see more in the next couple of scenes, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But outside of that, we also got a bit more confirmation on Radiant's background, obviously her Ursus background, and that she was potentially part of the Third Army at one point in her past. And that is also very interesting to know. I do like Radiant's whole approach and how scrutinizing she was towards Aloysius and her suggestions, and how she was just poking at her and trying to be like, okay, let's see if she's telling the truth, if she means what she is saying. But yeah, also a very interesting little detail about Aloysius's family name. That Radian might have been gone for long enough that she doesn't recognize how much power the family name that Aloysius carries is carrying. So that's also a very neat little thing. Kind of suggests that maybe Aloysius's family has only recently risen to more power in the recent couple of years, maybe. But we'll see if we find out more as the story is gonna progress. But also, in this chapter, very cute little interactions. the whole scene with Amiya jumping at Raidian and hugging her because she's just happy that obviously they reunited again. Also, Vatochki interacting with the rest of Rhode Island and Amiya specifically as well. Very, very, very cute. A couple of kernels of bright spots, right? in this deep tank, depressing chapter. But anyway, we continue on to stage 12. Stage 12, as you guys can see, like I said earlier as well, is a boss battle stage. It's a very, very interesting boss battle stage. We'll get to that. I will obviously let the stage play right after the cutscene. The cutscene on this stage begins at the beginning, and then the boss stage follows, which means we're gonna do the usual, play the scene, play the boss battle, and then we're gonna talk about it a tiny bit. But anyway, stage 12 is titled 6 Feet Under, and it says, "Once we created, now we destroy."
Ahead is the tunnel where we first found Oka. It should have been placed under lockdown soon after, but now it looks completely abandoned. The good news is that originium particle activity has also dropped after work stopped. Infection risks should be minimal as long as you do not touch the deactivated originium crystals. I'm not detecting any other life forms. We should be able to get in without a fight.
We still don't know what happened here. The patrol units and guards could return any time. Time is of the essence. Let's do this quickly.
Are you sure this is the right way, Xenia? I don't see anything. Sorry, I've only been down here once before. Let me find the emergency power switch. Here it is. Okay, looks like this is the right way. All we need to do is to go in the opposite direction from the mine carts. Opposite direction? I thought we were going deeper. It leads to somewhere other than the mine tunnels. I don't know what it's actually for, but the carts only carry goods, not people. What about the cart? Can we use it? There are no structural issues, but it's been around for so long that there's only enough emergency power for lights. I don't think it's a good idea.
I agree. We can walk.
You two, get on the cart. What?
There's no safety belt. We can walk.
Go on, Doctor. We can save time that way. But it won't start. I'll take care of it. Do you need me to lift you up, Doctor?
I can do it myself.
Are you ready? What are you planning? Whoa!
We'll be thrown off the cart. The cart's going to fall apart.
It'll be fine, just sit tight. Here we go! Thank goodness the tunnels look intact. But we should have started a fire before coming down. It's a lot better than the outside. The difference is almost as great as the Iberian coast compared to inland Ursus. Of course, there is a dramatic difference in temperature as well. Are you alright? I'm fine. What about you, Doctor?
Every part of my brain feels equally shaken. You look like you're enjoying it, monster.
I kept the speed steady. Monster is a very good cart driver. Or cart pusher. Sounds like the problem's not on my end.
I have a question, Xenia. When was Oka first discovered in the mines?
I'm not sure exactly when. The first sample arrived at the lab a month ago. That was when I learned of the appearance of this heretofore unheard of substance in the Originium mines.
But it's strange. The substance that appeared in the mines. What made the lab decide to perform human experiments?
Infected exposed Oka in this tunnel were subject to unusual mutations. Their infection readings soared, but their vital signs remained stable, healthy even. That sounds familiar. Have you encountered other patients like this? Have they come into contact with Oka?
There may be another possibility. We're not sure yet.
In any case, the Ursin government wanted to replicate the miracle. I suppose they wanted a docile labor force that did not fear illness or pain, perhaps even employ them in combat.
I'm not surprised the government would react that way. They haven't realized the potential danger.
I think we're getting close. This is as far as the rail goes. We'll have to proceed on foot.
The three of you move forward in the darkness. You hear before you see. It is the heavy sound of water. The three of you look up and slowly open your eyes. You soon realize that the light in the tunnel is not coming from outside. It is coming from the stationary liquid in front of you on the ground, and the waterfall at the very end. It glitters like obsidian, refracting light from a crack high above as it falls, making the cave bright as early morning after a shower. An obsequent river.
You can tell? Yes, like an obsequent river, the Oka cannot flow outwards along the dip. So it can only flow backwards until it lies still, like this. But it continues to flow in a way, even without external forces acting on it. That's why they named it Oka, a river. The liquid is everywhere. It's like a natural karst cave. You can't even tell that it used to be a mine. Even stranger, Oka itself is almost like water.
What do you mean? How could it be?
Well, in a manner of speaking. Oka becomes highly stable after it is allowed to stand still for a while. It can even be used as a universal solvent. Wait, we still shouldn't touch it with bare hands. Oh.
Monster bends over and collects some liquid with a test tube. She is not wearing gloves or any other form of protection. Her expression grows solemn as she shakes the liquid in a test tube with wet hands. Monster?
You should not touch it directly. I have protective equipment. You can tell me if you want a sample, and I'll collect it. Doctor, I know what this is. What?
Xenia, the samples, can you get some samples from around the waterfall?
Oh, okay. Wait here. I'll be back soon. Be careful. This liquid that they call Oka, it's Originium.
Originium? Why does it look that way?
It's complicated. Do you remember the transmitter that Ryan Lab was studying? Or the corazonics that is often mentioned in Iberian alchemy?
I do. Are they related?
This is their prototype, or perhaps I should say, the original form.
What the transmitter and corazonics have in common? They both serve as a kind of medium.
Yes, a medium that reacts directly with the human body, or to store information.
So that's why they are both liquid?
I think so. You understand, Doctor, that Originium is both a vehicle for information and a vehicle for energy. Both the transmitter and Corazonics re-record originium energy through specific means, in order to record different types of information. The Oka here is the remnant of originium, after its energy was extracted in an even more effective manner. So it's really a form of universal solvent, and this explains why the infected who came into contact with Oka became mutated. Because of its nature as drained originium, Oka neutralizes the originium activity inside the infected, while creating perfect conditions for the continued growth of originium. It allowed the infected to retain their vital functions temporarily, but does not change the fact that death would inevitably follow soon. Meanwhile, all the uninfected individuals injected with Oka died of severe rejection due to the lack of active originium in their bodies.
Its presence here in such quantities... it means...
This is what we fear the most. The colossal prime vein is drying up. The rumor was heard. We heard that Ursus is accelerating the extraction of originium. It's all to hide the exhaustion of the ore vein. It began here in the northernmost part of Ursus, and it will only accelerate. Within 4 months, the originium deposits in Ursus will drop to 30% of previous levels.
This is the real reason why the Grand Duchess put the mining district on lockdown. They can't hide it forever. You did not need to ask the question. One gaze exchange with Monster, and both of you have the same name in mind. The only one who could have done this. Priestess.
There's no one else.
Why would she do this?
The exhaustion of the ore vein cannot be stopped or reversed. Ursus will collapse.
Not just Ursus. Exhaustion on such a scale will have ramifications across Terra. Is this what she's after?
I have an idea. Oka is also a relic of the old civilization, a byproduct of your experiments. If she caused the exhaustion of the ore vein, then there might be some useful information left within. See if you can read it.
How would I?
Our means are limited. You'll have to insert your hand, like I did when I collected the sample. Don't worry, it won't harm you.
Following Monster's instructions, you crouch down and immerse your hand into the liquid Oka. You wait. You do not feel any different. You await some kind of change or response, like the miracles that happened so many times before. Nothing happened. The product of a previous civilization seems to reject you, denying your connection to it. Could it be that it has already lost its ability to hold information? Or perhaps she had no intention of leaving any information to us?
It's possible. Monster, Doctor, come, I found something. There is a hole behind the waterfall. When I climbed up and stood there, I heard a sound of an unusual frequency from the cave. It didn't seem natural. No, it definitely isn't natural. It's like, it's trying to communicate some sort of information through audio waves. Huh?
Let's check it out.
This space was hidden behind the waterfall?
It's, impressive.
Listen carefully to the sound of the liquid impacting the rocks. Some of the sounds are of a particular frequency, like it's trying to draw attention to itself. It's very different, and you can definitely tell. I tried to decipher the ones I heard. It took a while to record the various pitches. There! Did you hear that? All I hear is the rain. I can't even hear you speak. Doctor?
You close your eyes and allow yourself to be immersed in sound, until you identify the sound that is constantly changing in frequency.
I hear it. Did you say you hear it?
The sound rushes into your consciousness. Sometimes it is formed from several high frequencies, sometimes it is short and sharp, like a meticulous music score. You soon realize that it represents some sort of code, or perhaps language. You try to recall all the languages that you know, categorize them in your mind, and you soon realize that you are hearing the same word, just in different languages.
I've copied it down. It's just a hunch, but if we decipher it using the standard encoding for communication between nomadic cities, I think it's referring to the same word in many different languages. I could identify Ursin and Gaulish from it. I think they both mean...
Unknown language. Sporit. Dibattito. Tiba. Bianlun. Upon the rocks, the liquid in the mine is communicating the same word at you. Debate. Yes, Doctor. If you still believe you made the right choice, if you still believe in the future you describe, then refute me with reality and prove to me that thing which you hold so firm. Hope.
It's an invitation. What? I said it's an invitation. One that I must accept. You think it's a message from Priestess?
Yes, I know what she means. We should leave quickly.
We'll go back to the lab once Xenia has gathered her samples. We must try to contact Amia.
I wonder how Amia's team is doing. I hope Amia has made contact with Raidian. Did you hear that sound?
What sound?
Something heavy stepping in water.
The waterfall is pretty loud. Are you sure it's not just your ears ringing? Perhaps lingering effects from having to process too much information just now. Wait. Xenia? Is that you?
It's not Xenia's footsteps. Not the right way to rhythm.
What's that?
Frenzied crying, frenetic breathing, thick mucus liquid dripping from the fangs. Its entire body is covered in a hard layer of dark red originium, forcing it to stand on its two hind legs. You see it raise its front paws. Not paws. A pair of withered hands indistinguishable from that of a human.
An originium-infected mangler beast. I have the samples. Why are you just standing there?
The strange mangler beast, which seems so removed from reality, is right behind her.
Run, Xenia! Run, Xenia! Don't look back! I'll get her. Go to the mine car, Doctor, and we'll meet you there. Go! What?
The researcher cannot help but look back as she starts running. She hardly has the time to swallow her scream.
What is that thing?
作戦計画は固まった。聞いてるけど。誰かが気づく前にあなたの死体を影に沈めてあげる。武器の目の前にあるでしょ。
味方全員の座標確認完了。
みんなが僕らを見てるよ。
頑張ります。
生産過程の記録。一番危険。
早く離れてください。お願いします。
変えよう。誰を餌にするか決まった。目標は足元を見ていてさ。
全然本
主の名を掲げ、この旗のもとへ集え。こんなセリフを一度言ってみたかったんだ。
私の剣が石章の影をまとう。
いや悪いね、僕は別に信徒じゃないよ。
武器なら目の前にあるでしょ。何を待ってるの。
あなたを土に植えるわ。生まれ変わりなさい。武器を下ろせ。
今日はもうじき終焉だけど、君たちはまだ何か待ってるのかな。
すまない。力を入れすぎた。
誰を餌にするか決まった。
これで分かったでしょ。
絶望の匂いまでカモフラージュできない。
兵隊を変更中。頑張ります。
One cocaine bear down. Whew, this was holy shit, I'm not even joking. This was a boss battle to figure out, especially because for the first couple of attempts I was trying to struggle and figure out if I can do it with like the usual thing of units that have only appeared so far in the story, and it was not going well. It was not going well, it was not going fast enough, and way too little units to cycle between them to keep the teddy bear occupied until the bigger guns got deployed. Good lord, this thing was something else. But yeah, speaking of our dear teddy bear, in its description it says, rampaging abnormal mangler beast. Has long lost its divinity. Only its survival instinct keeps it going. Also, very quickly, just to address the word divinity here, I would say don't latch on too much on the word divinity here. It doesn't mean that the bear was like a divine creature or something before that. It just signifies that its previous divinity, its previous form, just being a mangler beast, was completely lost on it after this horrific mutation that it went through. Because at the end of the day, when we address something with divinity, it doesn't just mean that it's, you know, holy or something or of another realm. In the case of animals, it can literally just mean that the animal as is a divine creature after all, right? Plus, on the other hand, animals are not really evil or good. They are just animals. But yeah, this thing definitely went through some horrific things. But yeah, this stage had some interesting cutscenes, or rather material in its cutscene, especially to do with Oka itself. Yeah, Originium. it's literally just Originium but liquefied, which is very interesting, especially because to liquefy it, all I say all like it's something super easy to do, but all there had to be done to it, to this colossal vein, literally was to remove all of its stored data, both the physical and the non-physical portion of it, and the thing apparently liquefies, despite the fact that it's a crystal in its normal state, technically a crystal. Actually, I don't remember if it's supposed to be like an actual crystal. I think it is. The memory is escaping me right now, but yeah, it's definitely a crazy thing going from a solid state into this liquid state that behaves weirdly until you leave it alone for a while, and then it kind of evens itself out and just looks like it's water. Very crazy, like obsidian water on top of it, which makes even more sense now that it's this blackish kind of substance, because at the end of the day it was Originium to begin with. But yeah, Priestess is of course responsible for its current state. Very interesting thing that she can just remove all of the data out of the crystal itself and just leave, like, I guess the outer shell of the crystal behind. I would need someone who is I don't know, a physicist or a geologist or I don't know what scientific field you would have to go through to explain in either short terms or long terms how a crystal turns to liquid. What kind of atomic change in structure would it have to go through to become a liquid? Because this is something crazy. And yeah, of course, it's Priestess. She is calling for more debates because, of course, the person who has studied languages will call always for a yap session. What else? I mean, I do a lot of yapping on this channel, but come on. Come on. Can we get beyond that? But yeah, we'll see where that leads us. But for now, we move on to stage 1613, which is a special stage. It does have a cutscene, as you guys can see, connected to it. There is a special way to acquire it as well, and I will talk about that when we are done with the cutscene itself. But for now, we begin with stage 13, titled Never Forgotten. The unbeliever says that religion is bare-handed violence. It continues with Deactivated Redacted, a piece of home that retreating miners took with them. I will tell you guys later what this Deactivated Redacted is, but for now, let's continue with the scene. Has it stopped moving?
I think so. The roaring and the heavy breathing have ceased. Did we kill it? But it's still standing. Don't move. I'll check.
Monster ascertains that the other two are at a safe distance and approaches it on her own. The Mangler Beast stands quietly, no sign of the madness that it engulfed it only moments ago. Its strange forelimbs hanging still in front of its body. Part of the Originium covering it has been chipped away. Monster approaches carefully. She observes the Mangler Beast. It was dangerous to begin with, and its mutations make it look strange, almost otherworldly.
The influence of Originium is turning it into a human psychologically. It must be in a great deal of pain.
Monster, look out! It's moving again!
Oh!
But the Mangler Beast does not attack or even move from its spot. It falls toward the ground. Until its forelimbs touch the ground again with a thud.
Now's our chance to leave, Monster. We should leave and go back to the lab now. No, Doctor.
Monster?
It's still breathing. And it sounds like it's in pain, I think. I can't sense another's emotions like Amiya can. And this is just a mutated animal, but I know it will die, even if we don't do anything. The Originium has impaled its throat. Every part of its body is in pain. It would claw out its own mutated organs if it could. Perhaps this is why it attacked us. It's not in control of itself anymore.
Let's end its pain then.
Yes. I can do it. I can end its pain.
She walks towards the fallen beast. Standing next to it, she puts her claws against a piece of fur with fewer crystals. The monster gazes at the mangler beast with incredible calm in her eyes. Then, she surgically extinguishes the mutated mangler beast's last intermittent breathing.
Let's go, Doctor. Back to the lab.
Mantra continues to listen. She knows she cannot trust what she sees, whether it is twisted by intention or reflecting reality by accident. And so she listens, until the first word or prayer drops in the crowd like the first snow. Jurodstvo. Gabrielus. I'm listening. Then stop. Stop. Stop it all. I cannot stop what never began. What you see is only in your mind. Mantra stops trying to communicate. She steps forward and tries to steady the trembling red, white, and black threads. As she stretches out her hand.
Mantra! Mantra!
What?
You were completely motionless. I've never seen you like this. What happened?
Did you hear that?
Hear what?
The old woman does not immediately answer. She looks around and realizes that the remaining miners look different from before. She frowns and glances around herself. Where is Aloysius?
She heard me and ran outside.
So you did tell us to leave?
Yes, but I don't remember why. This is strange.
Mental arts.
Are you sure? I've received specific training. I would not be defenseless against such attacks.
Check for short-term memory interference, Raidian.
What sort of interference?
Interference that I can create. One time, I had Mechanist forget that he wanted to ask you about borrowing Dandy and Axie. Not by wiping the memory, but by blocking its information.
I remember. That was the first time you tried to use your arts like that, I think. We forget when information in our brain is not successfully stored in the memory.
Yes, it was your idea. You are far more experienced than I am in the understanding and utilization of human bioelectrical signals.
Think someone from here uses the same sort of arts?
Unsure. Perhaps I just saw and heard more than you did.
What do you mean?
The Jurodstvo of Ursus may be here, Raidian.
Jurodstvo? Why do you bring that up? The Jurodstvo is here? But the last Jurodstvo was burned alive in Griffinburg 2 years ago. Could another be born so soon?
I don't know. I'm going to find out.
If it's really the Jurodstvo, and it was hidden in the group without me detecting it, then it's extremely dangerous. I'll put the others on alert. Be careful.
The danger is not physical. Not yet, at least. I'll seek help, if necessary.
Don't forget it.
Mantra turns around and walks towards the place where the red was, a few moments ago. The assembled miners either give way to her or reach out to her.
Who are you looking for? We're still going to Griffenberg, right? We'll live. But they look like they don't want to leave. I asked Diavolia. He doesn't want to leave. He'd rather his wounds rot than to run. But isn't surviving the most important thing? You're not talking.
Stranger, are you going to see Nadia? Then go on your knees and raise your eyes to her. See her, repent and be forgiven. Then you will realize how foolish you were for struggling and failing to find peace. Mantra neither assents nor dissents. She does not speak to them with arts. She simply nods and passes them by, staring straight into the deepest reaches of the room. You will understand when you are in her presence. A hunched, tiny gray-white figure sits at the end of the room like a statue.
Urotstvo! Impossible. It's impossible. The Urotstvo is dead. The Tsar granted the madman the mercy of defending himself before his sentence was pronounced. 7 days. He engaged in sophistry for 7 days without stopping, without eating or drinking. He had the audacity to stand in the middle of the State Council, telling everyone who came to listen, "I forgive you." His Imperial Majesty finally had enough and sentenced him to death, personally, but brainwashed believers attempted to raid the execution, resulting in the biggest riot in Griffenberg in a decade. We know all that. If Mantra said it was the Urotstvo, she must have had the evidence to make the deduction. All we need to do is protect ourselves and wait to hear from her.
Mantra does not kneel as the miners instructed. She steps into the shadow, facing forward, as though there are a pair of eyes looking backwards, in front of her. I know you can hear. I hear your questions. I hope you're more than just a pale imitation of my arts and my way of speaking, Urotstvo. Urotstvo. If that is the name you need me to have. Explain. Gabrielus, Solomida, Besmert, Aurora, Nadia. Or perhaps Urotstvo. I am all of them. Why did you hide amongst these suffering people? Because it is a journey of proselytization. I shall walk this vast land and redeem the people from their sufferings. And because I saw and heard her, I stayed because of her pain. Who is she? A suffering soul. You deceived her and made her call you Nadia? I never deceived.
You lie. She asked, as you did. I answered, as I do. That was all. A meaningless response. What are you? You saw me. I see shadow without order. Yes, I am. But not in the eyes of others. Explain. People see in me the reflection of their perception and expectation. I thought of all the souls, you alone would understand why I exist so. After all, you are the unfinished sculpture. You were once to become me. Mantra keeps her eyes fixed on the strange apparition in front of her, but she is unsure whether she can identify any useful information from it. A long time ago, you cut away a black piece of rotten flesh. So did I. It pursued me, and I repelled it, like cutting off a piece of rotten flesh between breaths. An absurd analogy. No, a simple principle. If it is rotten and no longer connected to the rest of your body, why keep it? This is... your memory? But it is mine. No, the Royal Guard. If you can influence a Royal Guard, you can influence the miners. You killed it. You became me. If this is the only thing we share in common, the body and rotten flesh, your relationship to the Royal Guard, the Urotsuo was the source of the Royal Guard experiments. No sound comes from the trembling shadows, neither affirmation or denial. Mantra begins to back off and leaves the shadow's edge. I need support, Raidian. I'm here. The conjecture is confirmed. Also, additional information. The Urotsuo hid amongst the miners and helped them kill the Royal Guard. I see. What do you need us to do? I need you to continue to contact other Rhodes Island assets in Ursus and ask Amia to delay Aloysius. We can't leave yet, at least not until I find a way to rouse the miners. Have Elysium stand by inside the range of my arts. I may need his assistance. What's your plan? Remove the influence that the Urotsuo has on the miners. You think the Urotsuo is controlling the miners and causing them to refuse to leave? Yes. We cannot kill the Urotsuo directly, but it can kill anyone here, anytime it chooses to. Maybe Amia can help. Maybe, but Amia does not understand the Urotsuo, and I do not want her to become involved without any understanding. The Urotsuo's powers are similar to mine. This is why I am the only one who can make this decision. It relies on the cognition of others to establish itself. I must find the key to its establishment of the Nadia identity in order to remove its influence. You have someone you suspect? Yes.
Mantra casts her gaze at the surrounding miners, and eventually upon the girl who walks past her to the Ursus. She mutters in a daze, in bewilderment and sorrow. I just need time to confirm. So yeah, old granny indeed is the Ursus. But also very interesting is a couple of other details around the stage. But before we get to any of those, quick list of enemies that we encounter on this stage. First off, we have the Fort Breaker Mark II, next generation war machine developed by the first arsenal of Ursus, with increased power output and ammo capacity. The trade-off is that the pilot's escape pod was removed. Good luck to anybody who pilots this thing, you are toast. Army Senior Commander. Senior commanders of the Ursus army. Their loyalty to Ursus is beyond doubt, signified by the emblems of nobility on their uniform. And then finally we have these little red flyers that we saw before in the stage with the Royal Guard, the operation stage specifically, called Core of Stupor. Originating from the ignorance and confusion in the deepest depths of thought, it eats away at reason until all are dragged into the abyss of nothingness. Amazing description. And for another technicality for this stage is, like I said earlier, also tied to a cutscene that unlocks when you beat the stage with a very specific condition. The condition being that you need to let at least one miner from one of these two gates or from down here, you need to at least get one of them through the blue gate on the top, and that is it. When you do so, you get an item. I will show you in a moment what the item is, but the item will let you then unlock the scene. Now, the scene doesn't show up yet, as I had to find out because I was trying all the things to figure out what the shit to do here and stuff like that. Even tried to do the strategic simulation, maybe thought that that was the trigger for it, but no. To unlock this cutscene, you need to beat this entire chapter. You need to finish stage 19, and when you finish that one, not only will this stage get a cutscene that is unlockable, but there is also I think like 2 or 3 more cutscenes in this entire chapter that will unlock once you complete stage 19 and acquire, I believe, specific items for every single one of them, but we'll see when we get to that. But what is the item that we need? Well, it is this. The item in question is this dull piece of originium. A piece of deactivated originium that no longer has any particular value, even if it is polished into the shape of an Originite Prime. And it further says, once they said it was the origin of suffering, now they say its disappearance was the beginning of tragedy. And as you can see, it says at the bottom here, drops from the main theme stages. And yeah, this is the only thing you can get from there, the only type of this. This is not a regular drop, you get it through that special thing of letting a miner go through the gate. Then they canonically carry that thing as a memento, essentially. But yeah, this is a thing you need to have in your inventory, and that will then, once you beat the entirety of chapter 16, that will unlock that special cutscene on stage 16-13. But anyway, let's go back. So yeah, with that said, there were 2 very interesting things to this chapter. Number 1 was the conclusion of the Mangler Beast fight, pretty much getting a full-on confirmation of what has transpired with the Mangler Beast. Essentially, because the beast itself was already probably also already infected by Originium when it was exposed to Oka. Well, pretty much mutated in the most horrific way possible. Pretty much going through... it was pretty much speedrunning evolution. As a reminder, every single one of the races that we see as humans in this game, the Peros, the felines, the any of the fish people, aka AEGIR, any other race essentially that we see that look like human, even the very furry ones, they all started as actual animals thousands of years ago. But in their case, like normal evolution, they had a massive amount of time to go from animal to actual human. And that was obviously caused and accelerated a bit as well due to Originium. And of course, if you take note of that evolution so far, if you probably, and this is obviously speculation, but it's a logical speculation, if you give it probably another 1,000 years, maybe 2, probably Terra will be completely just populated by humans, like actual looking humans. If in the future of Terra there will be, like, after several more generations, will be actual, like, people with like horns and feathers or something similar, or someone actually gets born as a full-on furry looking person, that will be a fluke. That will be pretty much just like something in the genome triggering and the person being born that way, because that's just how the evolution goes for this world, or rather how evolution goes in general, right? But yeah, anyway, besides the technical point, that Mangler beast really went through some horrific mutation. I don't even want to imagine what kind of absolute agony and pain the thing had to be in. Like, its entire body went from I am a teddy bear to I am starting to resemble a human in a matter of minutes, hours, maybe a day or two, depending on how fast that was actually transforming it. Like, Jesus Christ, I do not want to be in the skin of that thing. And who knows, maybe at the end of the day it was literally just looking for someone to kill it to actually ease its pain and rid it of the suffering. Good God. So yeah, good on Monster actually going to do the mercy kill there, cause leaving that poor creature there in its agony would have been just sad. Sad and terrible. But yeah, in other places, as I said earlier, yeah, that weird red, black and white warbly flamey thing is the Urotstvo. Now, how is it actually looking? We don't know yet, but at least as Mantra approached it and was able to not get influenced by its arts, she saw something, but she does not know exactly what. And cannot identify it, but that thing is definitely the Urotstvo. Further implicating a couple of things, number one being that Mantra was definitely at some point supposed to be the Urotstvo. And the other being that Mantra is speculating that the Urotstvo might be in some way connected to the Royal Guard program, the Emperor's Blade program, which is very interesting. Now, in what way or capacity, I could not say. That sentence was pretty vague left there, but maybe this thing is where this project originally started from. Who knows? But yeah, I don't know what this thing is supposed to be for now, and what we're gonna be doing with it later throughout the story, but we'll see, I guess. And yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. So far, at least with this cutscene, it kind of just feels like we have potentially another form, not of Cachet, but similar to Cachet, where in Cachet's case, that guy was surviving purely because he would implant an idea of himself into a person, and then if you break down the person's mentality enough, or weaken the person's mentality enough, the idea of himself would just sprout in a person's brain and take over, essentially. But in the Urotsu's case, it seems something similar is going on. Now, is this another long-lived being or something? I do not know, but it definitely leaves me with the impression of that this thing could be something that is of very similar caliber. But anyway, we move on to our final stage for today, and also the background changes here when we get to stage 14. We get a beautiful little aurora in the back. As I said in the previous part as well, when we get to the final part of this voiceover for this chapter, I will look up if there's a video compiling all of the animated backgrounds as the menu was changing over time. If not, I mean, the backgrounds are probably preserved on on the wiki, at least, like they were for chapter 15 as well. But I'll look it up if there is a video on on YouTube somewhere that is compiling all of those. But that will be for the final part. For now, we begin with stage 1614, titled Lone Path. Get up, follow the road, go south. Do not forget home. Do not go back home. Cold night, long night. The bare earth is covered in frost. Upon it are haphazard footsteps, stretching into the distance where the sun fades beneath the horizon. Scattered black dots are moving slow, at the place where the earth meets the night sky. Lake Neva is frozen.
This year is bloody cold. It's not even winter yet. What are you laughing about?
I remember that in the winter of 31, Igor Veliki defeated the army defending Griffenberg on Lake Neva, spelling the end of the Hippogriff Kingdom.
And what about it? You want to lead us in an assault on deity Griffenberg?
No. Not yet, at least.
It's another story that I'm thinking of. Around the year 150, a famous playwright wrote a play about Igor Veliki before he entered Griffenberg. His intention was to celebrate the friendship between Igor and the Hippogriff noble Mikhail, who were comrades in the revolution overthrowing the Hippogriff kingdom. But it was lambasted throughout Ursus because it mentioned a compromise between Igor and certain Hippogriff nobles, whereby Igor gave up some power in exchange for their support. The Ursus refused to accept it. They considered it a slander against Igor Veliki. The playwright paid the price for a story that he claimed to be true to history. It was only many years after his death, when the original agreement between Igor and the Hippogriff nobles was discovered, that people learned he had been telling the truth.
A fine story. Are you trying to tell me that the legend that I worship is just a figment of human imagination?
I'm trying to tell you that even Igor knew the importance of flexibility. We should stop here, Rankin. Griffenberg is in the way, and its defenses are on a completely different level from the far north. What if they find us? It won't be the patrol units waiting for us, but the armies of Ursus.
Winter will find us in the wilderness if we continue to take detours and fail to reach the border in time. I would much rather deal with a patrol or two than Urs in winter.
Do we really have to go to the Kazimierzian border though? Find your legendary reunion? You know how far it is. Never mind the enemies that we might encounter on the way. Look at our people, our food, even our clothes. Do we have enough to make it? Let's say we actually make it to the border. What if it's not an infected village that waits us there, but another mine? What do we do then?
What other way is there? Where can we go?
There must be a way. I know. We can go east. Nikolsk. It's an old city, almost abandoned now, and there are even fewer people in the surrounding villages. We could go there, split up and hide in the villages. That's the only way for us to survive.
And live like slaves for the rest of our lives? I gave you a choice, Nikto. I gave everyone a choice. I thought everyone chose to come with me, to live like men.
But you shouldn't wager everyone's lives on a castle in the sky. I took a good look, Rankin. There's the outpost ahead is manned. The searchlights are on. It hasn't been abandoned. If we can't get through this way, do we have to? You hear that, Rankin?
Searchlights. How many searchlights did you see?
I don't really remember. 2? Maybe 3?
Think. How many exactly?
Two! Yes, I remember now. There were only lights on the east and west sides. It's 2 lights.
2 lights. So a garrison of 100 or so. Maybe.
Rankin! Look behind you, Rankin. This is all the people we have. This is not a revolutionary army. They just want to live. Are you going to send them into the mines from which there is no return, like the mine owners did?
Rankin looks at the crowd behind him and sees their expressions under the lamplight. Pain, fatigue, helplessness, fear. Perhaps SANKTA is right. Their clothes are too thin, and they cannot take it. But he feels no cold, for some reason. No. I won't throw away any lives. Even if sacrifice may be inevitable, I won't allow anyone to die without meaning. We can't go back to a life of slavery. Follow me. There's another way.
There's such a long mine tunnel underground? What's going on, Rankin? How did you know where the mine tunnel was here?
Someone had an idea a few years back. There are more than 1,000 mines in the far north, each with hundreds of workers. Yet they are all disconnected from each other. But if we changed that, we could connect the tunnels. No one knows the underground better than we do. We could weave a web beneath the frozen soil and link everyone, sharing information and helping each other in the hour of need.
Have you been preparing all these years? Were you planning for this day?
I'm no prophet. It simply began with a very basic idea. We should unite and help each other. At the beginning, my influence extended only to 12 mines in the area. I was powerless beyond that. Later, I heard that other people were doing the same things in other places. It's a pleasant surprise to find that this tunnel looks relatively safe.
Where does it lead?
The Volgrad mining district, southeast of Griffenberg, in the southernmost part of Ursus. If we can reach it through the tunnels, we'll be able to circumvent the capital's defenses.
But you better pray there's no army on our tail, or it'll be an easy opportunity to wipe us out all at once.
No such thing as a path without risk. Wait. I smell alcohol.
Impossible. How could there be?
Get down! A flash of cold light lunges out from the darkness, breaking the only lit lamp.
What the?
Get down, don't move, and don't fire back.
Bliat! They found us! Come for help!
But wait! Stop! We're friends! Rankin stands and shouts at the top of his lungs, his voice echoing in the deepest reaches of the cavern.
You're not the patrol units?
That's what we were about to ask. I suppose the answer is no.
Thank goodness. I thought I found our position. Where did you come from?
The central mining district.
Central? I didn't know that there were any survivors there. We heard the guards started a massacre. We thought there wasn't anybody left alive.
I can see why there would be such rumors. But they're not true. We're still alive. We defeated the patrol units and escaped. We haven't given up on our struggle.
That's the best news I've heard in a while. One moment. We're trying to get to the Volgrad mining district, in the south, through these tunnels. Can we... The south? It's not good. The tunnel leading to the south has collapsed. That's why we've been stuck here. I see. Again, Rankin, Again! Why is every path at that end?
Wait, Rankin? The Rankin? My name's Rankin. I don't know anything about the Rankin.
It's really you! Rankin from Central! You're real! You're alive!
I see my name has taken flight on its own.
We can talk about that later. Let me take you to the living area. You folks look like you're in real bad shape. We have some food and water. Not a lot, but we can spare some.
Living area? Are there a lot of you living here?
Yes. A lot.
They follow the lone light of the lamp and walk into the tunnel. Gradually, they begin to see the light at the end and hear the faint sound of talking. They go around the corner to see a large number of people. There must be hundreds of them, living in a tiny space. Some are wearing miners' outfits, others simple cotton clothes. They are elderly and there are children, with simple living tools around them. This is where they live.
What's going on? Didn't you guys go on patrol? Why did you bring so many people back? Who are they?
Friends! Let me introduce this man here. Rankin!
Rankin! Who's Rankin? I've heard the name before. You were the one who had the idea of linking all the mining districts. You're not as tall as these stories say, but I guess you're tall enough. Did you fight the Casimirians? Do the Firewatch really exist?
They rush forward to see the figure of legend. There is reverence, there is joy, and there is a little bit of disappointment in seeing the real man behind the myth, but all culminate in an excited call for his name. Rankin, Rankin.
Alright, that's enough. Our friends have run into some trouble and they need rest. Get some bread from the storage room, Zoya. The big loaves.
Why are you living here?
That's a long story. The Neva Dam burst 3 years ago, flooding the nearby mines. The overseer refused to let us come out from underground, fearing that we might flee to a nearby city. The mine eventually collapsed, splitting it in half. Half of us were drowned. We were the lucky half. We thought all we could do was wait for death until we found a passage below that led to another mine. We got some food from there, but we didn't dare go above ground, so we stayed underground.
But you've been living here. How?
We helped deliver cargo from other mines. Some kind-hearted people shared food with us. Sometimes we stole from the patrol units. Just like must be, huh? We continue to expand the passages to the Ural in the east and Kras in the west, linking up a lot of mines and districts. We've taken in refugees who fled to the other mines. We've got maybe 1,000 people who are somewhat fit to move.
There are children here.
Yes, she's 2 years old, and she's never seen the sun. Liat. No matter what, we're still alive. All thanks to you, Rankin. We'd have been long dead if you didn't come up with your idea.
No, I did nothing. Don't thank me. You found your path of life on your own. But it shouldn't have been like this. This shouldn't have been your life.
But, what could we do, Rankin? Of course we don't want to live in this hole forever, but, where else can we go?
Come with me. Where to? South, to the Kazimierzian border. We'll find the village that belongs to the infected, land that we can live on. We'll go together.
Calm down, Rankin. Did you forget about the Lake Neva outpost? Did you think you could sneak past them with so many people?
Then we'll take it by force.
You're out of your mind.
I know what I'm talking about, Nikto! I'm confident. The Lake Neva outpost will have at most 100 men and no heavy weapons. 300. Give me 300 pairs of hands that can hold a crossbow and a hoe. It will take the Lake Neva outpost before they have a chance to send a distress signal. By the time the regular supply delivery arrives weeks later, we'll be long gone on the vast Barton Plains. We'll only be one step away from the goal. Nothing can stop us.
No, you've gone mad. I don't understand. Why do you always force yourself into the riskiest option? Why do you...
Rankin ignores his objections and extends his hand to the crowd.
I see your vision, Rankin, and I'm willing to go with you to take the outpost. But I can't make the others follow you. They'll have to decide their own fates.
The miner shakes Rankin's hand and goes to stand behind him.
All who are willing to go with Rankin to take the outpost, come forward!
We each shuffle in the crowd, and several youths take their place behind Rankin. Others remain hesitant or find their own family hanging on their shirts.
Whatever the others say, I'm with you, Rankin. I don't know what a place for the infected on the Kazimierzian border is like, but it can't be worse than here. We trust you because you're Rankin. You're the hero that united us, no matter what end awaits us.
Rankin holds those words by raising a hand. He looks down, takes a deep breath, then looks up again at the crowd, his eyes resolute. Have you ever seen spring in Ursus?
Silence.
I have, when I was a soldier with the border guard. When the snow melts, green grass grows from the soil again, and the migratory flower beasts come back. Sometimes the sun is out all day, so bright it almost drives you mad, and you can only see by pulling your blanket over your head. The sun, the grass, the flower beasts, the wind. None of those exist in the mines. But it's not because we don't deserve it. It's not too much to ask. These are things that you and I, your children, all of us, deserve as human beings. Rankin's words echo in the dark mind and in the hearts of all who are listening. It will be dangerous. I will not lie to you, nor will I force anyone to join us. But sacrifices are a part of any struggle. There will always be those who fall by the wayside, or leave of their own accord. Whether they fell or left on their own, whether they were brave or timid, remember those who are around you, and remember that you once stood together and shared the same pain. We will always be comrades. Some may fall tonight, and some may live. Those who live will pave the path to tomorrow for the rest. We shall raise a torch upon the outpost to remember the fallen. The survivors may remember, and the oppressors will see. Before we leave, I want to tell you how I feel. I hope you will join me and contribute your strength. Only by taking this step can we go back to the surface, bathe in the sunlight, and become human again. Rankin's chest rises and falls. He feels hot blood flow through his veins and his strength return to him. And he raises his arms as he speaks. More and more people come over to him, as they did when he first made his rallying cry in the mine shafts of the central mining district. Brothers, sisters, remember the inhuman lives that we once led. We were herded into the mines like backbeasts, using our lives to dig for originium to warm the bed of others. This is not the law, it is murder. Yes, murder. They tried to shut our mouths, keep us captive until we die, stop us from thinking and make us numb, until we are no different from animals. But we did not forget how to struggle. Deep underground, we connected the mines and broke through our prison of death. But that's not enough. We can't just keep running away. We must face our foe head on. Someone might ask, what do we do, Rankin? It's difficult, but it is also easy. The first thing to do is take the first step. Tonight's battle will be the first step. More people will learn who we are, and all those who are oppressed like we are will know that they're not alone. Do not fear. There's no need to fear. Those who are high above are not strong. We are strong. We have nothing to lose except our lives. If they won't give us our right, then we'll fight for it with our lives. Ask me, what do we do? What will become of us? History has shown us time and again that it doesn't forgive oppressors. If punishment has not yet come, it's only because it still needs time and anger that will set everything on fire. Igor Veliki ripped the wings off the high and mighty hippogriffs. If his descendants are doing the same things the hippogriffs once did, then we will drag them down from their thrones. Our weapons will once again force deity Griffenberg's golden gates open. Our pickaxes will dig a hole in this land and tear its ugly, greedy face to pieces. All of Ursus will see us, fear us, recognize us. Then we will have a bright future. Viva la revolution, as the saying goes. But yeah, the revolution has begun. Rankin is gathering people, and oh boy, I mean, a revolution for a good cause is always a good thing, but good God, this is gonna go one way or the other. I mean, there are a bunch of people. By the way, I love the 300 reference that they sneaked in there. I hope I wasn't the only one who caught the fact that he was saying 300. Give me 300 people. I don't think I reacted to it while I was reading originally because I was in the moment of going through the whole thing. But we'll see. I need to snoop through the raw reading of this thing to see where I did react or not. But yeah, very interesting how this is gonna develop. Again, a revolution is fine and all, but these are just civilians, miners, that they don't know how to actually fight, and they're literally going against walking tanks. Like, if they are gonna encounter a battalion of shield guards, they're just toast. What are they gonna do against them? Those guys are already like, good lord, they're just walking tanks. My god, I don't know. We'll see how this is gonna develop. I'm just I just don't even know what to suspect anymore with what will happen with them. I hope something saves their ass at the end, and if a conflict does break out, that at least it's gonna get stopped by some weird form of miracle. I mean, the miracles seem to be kind of like a titular theme as well of this chapter, so we'll see. I mean, we do have the Aurora in the background as well, so I guess we'll see what happens further on. But yeah, also speaking of Rankin there and organizing a revolution essentially, and people to follow, that was probably the toughest scene that I had to go through, at least when it comes to voicing it, purely because of both the energy and not fucking it up. I don't think I fucked it up on the take that is gonna be that you guys basically watched already. But yeah, damn, that took a lot of time. I hope the neighbors did not hear me. That took several attempts and several hours to record that scene alone. It's not a long scene, from what I remember right now, but it definitely took time. I think it was like a 12-minute scene or something around that time in general, from the moment he starts the speech. But good God, keeping the momentum going, not faltering, not voice cracking, because the voice that I'm doing for Rankin is very prone to voice cracking. A lot. And that was definitely tough. It was fun, especially when you're in the motion, you keep just going. But yeah, that was a tough take. Took definitely a full afternoon to properly do. 12 minutes can be a lot of rehearsal time sometimes. So I hope you guys enjoy that, because that was definitely something that took a while, and I do hope the neighbors really did not hear me. just random neighbor thinking to themselves that, who knows if they even speak English. I'm not even aware if they know perfect English. But why the hell is he giving a speech? Why does he sound Russian? Oh, good God, hopefully not. But yeah, anyway, with that done, we are gonna be stopping here for today. And next time, we're gonna be continuing from stage 15 onwards. As noted before, this whole chapter apparently has only 19 battle stages, with more than likely a cutscene at the very end as per usual. And like I already said, there is special cutscenes, like below stage 13 here, that unlock once you beat stage 19, and we're gonna do all of those when we get to the final episode. So there's probably gonna be 2 more episodes for this chapter. One covering, I don't know, probably stages 15, 16, maybe 17, we'll see. We'll see how dense it's gonna be. Usually, as we all know, the story does become pretty dense at the very end. But we'll see when we get to it. For now, guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this part. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It will help out a lot. Recommend this video to other people so they get a taste of some voiced Arknights. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. Like I always say, videos will not be behind a membership. It's purely there for support. So thank you very much to all the members already doing so. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will see you in the next part. Until then, bye-bye. Thy blessings walk on earth as it is in heaven. Who's this old lady? That was a prayer. Who's this old lady? Is she the Rodstvo? The current one or some shit like that? Just a disguise. Oh boy. Someone's putting on a skin. Walking in. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, what am I looking at? What is this? What is this absolute I have seen the horrors of the world expression on her face right now? I am I am a bit terrified of this old lady. Who is this? Who is this actual lady gonna actually be? What the fuck? Who's there?
Oh, they meet. Wow, they're meeting early. Right, she stayed behind with the old woman, and probably some other people as well. Who knows? Amiya, it's really you. How did you find this place? It's really you. We finally found you. Oh, Amiya hug. Hey, finally something wholesome. Finally something wholesome in this recording session. Holy shit. A wise course of action. Mantra! I knew you would be with them. That is the happiest I've seen Raidian so far. The smiles she puts normally on are kind of like what would be a good word, like kind of half-assed, like she means them but also doesn't mean them. But this one was kind of like a big happy hey. What the hell? Some are kneeling while others are standing. But they are all facing the old woman, with bowed heads inside the house as though they can hear nothing else. Okay, what the shit is the old woman doing? Batochki looks up and a word slips from her mouth. Babushka? Radian follows Batochki's fearful gaze. An ancient voice fills the space in the direction that they are all looking. They're not listening. The electrical signals coming from them. Oh. Yeah, the old lady's doing something. Meditate. Yeah, she's fucking with Radiant's electronics right now. Oh, the old lady's talking about mantra. Oh, she's targeting her. Oh shit, animated. Hi. Oh, this is from the menu at the beginning of the game. Or beginning of the chapter rather. What am I looking at? Humming? Uh-huh. What am I looking at here? What is this shit? Okay, I'm guessing that the distorted thing in the middle is the old lady. Like, drawing them in or some shit. Because everybody is looking towards the direction. They're all in a trance, which is... Gosudar Batyushka. Oh, she is the Urotstvo. Okay. So this old lady... Old lady? I actually wonder if it's an old lady now. But this woman took over, I guess, for the guy who died in the flashback at the beginning. After he was done giving his speech for like 7 days. I'm guessing, or maybe just a completely different Urotstvo. Unless she is addressing the Urotstvo, which would obviously be mantra in this case, because at the beginning of the story, again in the flashback, they were addressing mantra as a Urotstvo as well. Curious. You two, get on the cart. Oh god. Is she gonna push the cart? Or is she gonna use her extra, like, appendages to move it around like a gondola? That could also be fun. Oh god. Yeah, she could pull that thing. I mean, we've seen what happened in the recent SANKTA story. She could do shit like that. Do you need me to lift you up, doctor? I can do it myself. Poor doctor. Time for an Indiana Jones segment. Oh, that's kinda cute. Oh god. In any case, the Ursan government wanted to replicate the miracle. I suppose they wanted a docile labor force that did not fear illness or pain. Perhaps even employ them in combat.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. If the first results they got back was that the infected seemed to be like stable and not their infection not spreading or something, or not inhibiting their actions anymore or whatever. Yeah, they would want to have that, because then they can just take all the infected, expose or inject them with Oka, and they can just keep working in the mines without ever having to fear infection, because they're already infected, but the Oka is keeping it in check. And yeah, you pretty much have a completely stable workforce for the mines. I see the intention there. It's a dark intention, but it's an intention, all right. And yeah, if that can be applied to people in the mines, that can also then be applied to infected who work in the military, or just bringing infected into the military. Then you pretty much also have a force that military force that can use arts, and they don't have to rely on arts units or something as well. Yeah. I can see where that would go. That's a pretty potent thing if if it would not be probably something completely horrendous, or rather it is something completely horrendous. Ooh, that's a nice new cave environment with a waterfall in the back. It is coming from the stationary liquid in front of you on the ground, and the waterfall at the very end. Waterfall in quotes. Is that water Oka just dripping down? Is that liquid actually emanating some kind of faint light from itself? That's kind of spooky. If it's illuminating the cave. It glitters like obsidian, retracting light from a crack high above as it falls, making the cave bright as early morning after a shower. Oh, okay, so yeah, if its surface is that reflective and functions like obsidian is basically like a black mirror, essentially. Yeah,
This liquid that they call Oka, it's originium.
Oh, it's liquefied originium? Huh, interesting. Also, yeah, she can touch the stuff because her hands are basically still her old monster shell, monster form, essentially. So they are... they can't really absorb liquids. It's a hard surface. But okay, interesting. Liquefied originium, huh? Why would it turn to liquid? How did it even turn to liquid? What the shit?
Do you remember the transmitter that Rhinelap was studying? Or the corazonics that is often mentioned in Iberian alchemy?
Wow! Okay, they're bringing in some interesting shit here. Okay, transmitter that is from... that started back in the Dorothy story and also transferred over a bit into the Ride Lab story, into Lone Trail later. Corazonics is the very thing that that was done in last year's story, Iberian story. Shit, I keep forgetting what the story's name is right now from the top of my head. The one with Thorn's altar, because he was trying to make Corazonics, if I remember correctly, through alchemy. Yeah, interesting.
This is their prototype, or perhaps I should say the original form.
Ah! So this is where it comes from, like where the idea comes from. Liquefied originium, huh? Okay, go on.
After its energy was extracted in an even more effective manner.
Wait, is she saying that originium turned to liquid because all of its energy got absorbed by something? Wow, she really is saying that... That is interesting. That is very interesting. So if you drain originium of all of its
resources stored inside of it, it just turns to liquid? Huh. But does not change the fact that death would inevitably follow soon. Ah, so it's kind of like... It's kind of like a person that is approaching their end, having like a final moment of clarity kind of deal. Huh. The colossal prime vein is drying up. Oh, priestess, what are you doing? Huh. An entire gigantic vein completely slowly disappearing, huh? Don't worry, it won't harm you. Contact. Tell me. Whoa. Welcome to the mines of Moria. Damn. That is a picture. What is the music playing right now in the background? Oh, I recognize it. It's just the noise of the water is obscuring it. Oh, I just realized I mean, those are just probably mining constructions, but they kind of weirdly form rhombuses the way the angle is going. Funny. Yeah, are we gonna get the word? Unknown language. Come on, translate the bitch. Okay, so the doc understood it in the unknown language. Well, in the language that the doc's civilization was speaking, huh? Oh, that's in Russian. I cannot read that, but I believe we're gonna get the English in a sec. Yeah. Dibatito? Okay, that's another language. Yeah, keep going. Debate! Fuck! Fuck you. Fuck you, we're doing this shit again. No! God, what are these languages? God, I'm gonna have to look up every single one of these. No! Upon the rocks, the liquid in the mine is communicating the same word at you. Oh, white background, yep. Debate. Fuck you. Fuck you. Whoa, what the shit? Oh. Oh, hi. That thing which you hold so firm. Hope. Oh, fuck you. And we're back. What sound? Something heavy stepping in water. Uh-oh. Ooh, is one of the critters in here? That might have been infected and has bathed in Oka? Ooh. I don't like this. Oh! That's a big angry teddy bear! Uh-oh! Holy shit, this thing is pissed. It was infected, and now it's 10 times more infected. What is this? Oh, cocaine bear! It's the cocaine bear, but on even more crack. Uh-oh. Not paws. A pair of withered hands. Indistinguishable from that of a human. Oh! Oh! Oh, I just realized that's a leg. That on the bottom left, right side from this perspective that's a leg. Oh! Oh! Oh, it's forcing it to mutate into a human, like, on the spot. Oh, that's gnarly. Oh, that's absolutely gnarly. This thing is doing a speed run. This thing is doing a brutal evolution speed run. Oh boy, that is gnarly as fuck. I love it. Oh, are we fighting the teddy bear? Are we gonna fight the teddy bear? I just realized this is where combat starts. Holy shit! How much damage are we doing? Rampaging abnormal mangler beast.
has long lost its divinity. Only its survival instinct keeps it going. Yeah, this thing literally just speedrun evolution. Holy shit. Uh-huh.
始めます
Oh. I maybe should have not deployed yet. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I actually need to stop it as quickly as possible. Oh. Oh, this is gonna be... This is gonna be... weird, okay. What the fuck? Oh, it came back even more pissed. All the healing ever. Keep the glorious leader alive. Oh no, glorious leader has fallen. Go monster. Sure. Shui's about to run out of healing. That's bad. That's kind of bad. That's kind of bad. Okay, we got him. We got him. We got him. We got him. Holy shit, this bear is insane. Just for a bit. Just for a bit longer. Just for a bit longer. Keep him occupied. Keep the bear occupied. Holy shit. Okay, this was a fight. Fuck, this was a fight. What the shit? I don't think I can set this up with like just the story units. I tried. I tried for a while. I definitely tried for a while. It did not work. Oh my god. Okay. Whew. What the f... Oh. Oh, it's time for the Aurora. Okay. Oh boy. Okay, so 1613 branches downwards if you probably do something specific. What in the fuck is this? And all of it is in front of the gate. Fuck you, game. What? Never forgotten. The unbeliever says that religion is bare-handed. Bare-handed violence. That after the bear. Thank you very much. Deactivated. Redacted. A piece of home that retreating miners took with them. Okay. Okay. Well, this is getting interesting. The influence of Raidian is turning it into a human psychologically as well. Wow, I was just thinking, holy shit, I was just thinking like the physical change is happening to be a rapid evolution to a human, but psychologically as well, that is fucked up even more. What the shit? Oh yeah, good, right, this thing. We're back to this thing. Great. I was so busy with the bear for a couple of minutes that I forgot about this. Holy shit. Dandy and Axie? What are those? Dandy and Axie? Either tools or... It would be funny if that's the name for the left and the right hand, the robotic ones. Anyway, Mantra keeps her eyes fixed on the strange apparition in front of her, but she's unsure whether she can identify any useful information from it. Also, the way this is going right now kind of reminds me of the whole thing that Cachet was doing, where he was basically implanting an idea of himself into someone's mind, and that would sprout if either the mind was weakened enough or broken enough, so that the idea of himself would spread and take over essentially the person, aka where the moniker Deathless Black Snake comes from, because technically he does not die. He just inhabits another body and can also inhabit multiple bodies at the same time as well. He's part of the whole... He's basically part of Ursus itself. Ursus seems to be kind of like a similar idea. Ursus is just full of eldritch bullshit. I feel like in the middle of Ursus, Cthulhu, even though Cthulhu should be the sea, but Cthulhu and the King in Yellow are vying for power. Who is gonna implant the idea of himself more in the people? Who is gonna have more control? Jesus Christ! All right. Your relationship to the Royal Guard. The Urotstvo was the source of the Royal Guard experiments. Oh. The Urotstvo was the source of the Royal Guard experiments. Now, does she mean that... Is she deducing that they were taking something from the original Urotsvo's body to make the Royal Guards with? Because the Royal Guards carry like a piece of some demon inside of them that is fused to them, that is making them into these unstoppable creatures that they are, essentially. Nice little CG. He looks much chiller here than he appeared just now in the speech that he was giving. Alright.